Missions Pulse. Know God's heart, join his mission.
They're fleeing for safety within their own nation because of conflicts and tribal clashes.
I see.
And so that's what occurred with She Saves a Nation. Before it even became an initiative, we had an opportunity to go minister to a community of these internally displaced Kenyans. And once we went to this area in Laikipia County where the government had given them land to resettle on, we had an opportunity to minister just the ministry of mercy to them.
Yeah.
Just to show compassion, just to show love. And in that time, I met 120 girls who just changed my life forever.
Wow.
I knew that I would be connected to them beyond that moment. And so I talked to the leadership there on the ground where they were developing, building, a school. They have homes, that kind of evolved from tent communities and churches now that they're really trying to build on. And I said, how can I help these girls? They said, we have 120 girls at the age of puberty who, during their menstrual cycle, they do not have enough supplies.
Okay.
They do not have enough undergarments to get them through a monthly cycle. It's causing them to miss over half a year in school, and it's making them subject to sexual exploitation and vulnerability. And so they said, if you can help us by supplying this need for them, this would be a great, great help in ministry to these girls and to this community.
Yeah.
And so since 2016, we have been supplying sanitary towels, underwear, and soap for these girls every quarter.
It seems so simple. It's such a tangible thing to do.
Oh my goodness.
Right?
I mean, we can take so much for granted.
Yeah,
We can go to CVS and get this stuff. We can go
Exactly.
to the drugstore and pick it up. But there are girls that are actually being sexually exploited. Their bodies are being taken advantage of for as low as $1.
No way.
To
Really?
get a product that they should be, that's a basic
what do you
human
mean?
right for them to have.
Well, what do you mean? They're trading sexual services for the things that they need?
Right. So here's the thing. Unfortunately, these girls are already vulnerable because they're displaced.
They're internally displaced.
Exactly.
They're struggling to survive.
Yes.
Financially, they're
Abject
not doing
poverty.
well. Abject poverty, okay.
I mean, just completely poor. And so their parents can't afford to get these things for them. And so there are men in the community who know that these girls are vulnerable and will exploit that and say, I'll give you this if you give me yourself. I'll give you the $1 you need to go get your menstrual products. And so there you have the issue of, there's the need for advocacy for their education. There's a need for advocacy for their health. There's a need for advocacy for their well-being because now you have teenage pregnancy and sexually transmitted diseases and all these things that can come as, just outcomes of this type of exploitation.
And an exploitation that could be remedied so easily.
Yeah.
I guess that's what I'm really hoping, that people would hear this and be watching this and think, wait, you're saying that I can donate or sow into giving these simple products for women. People can do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what comes, you go back to the compassion aspect of Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
If we are so myopic, focused on self, not seeing the world, for God so loved the world that he gave his only son. And then we sing the song, it's such a simple little, almost cheeseball child song, red and yellow, black and white, they're precious in his sight, but we don't really believe that.
We don't.
Because our actions don't tell us that. I mean, in many ways you could say that. And that's very frustrating when you talk about these situations for $1.
Yeah.
For $1,
yeah.
These girls are being sexually exploited.
Yeah, it's disgraceful.
Yeah.
And once we are made aware of something, it's sin to turn a blind eye. And I felt compelled by the Lord not just to meet this practical need. I felt like the practical need was just the beginning.
Okay.
I felt like it was just the gateway to really disciple, because that's what the Great Commission tells us to do. And, what I've learned just in short-term missions is that fulfilling the Great Commission is almost like 10% evangelism, 90% discipleship.
Yes.
It's that long-term investment, learning to walk alongside, just like Jesus walked alongside his disciples, to invest in the lives of those, who you are ministering to, teaching them the ways of Jesus, so that they can multiply and evangelize and disciple themselves. And so we wanted to expand this effort for She Saves a Nation into an actual organization and initiative that will empower these girls for life.
Missions Pulse. Know God's heart, join His mission. This podcast is powered by Within Reach Global. Subscribe, watch, and listen on YouTube today. Visit missionspulse.com.